Hey everyone, this is Randy again with OFAPT.org. We're living in worrisome times. As I've stated before, I've never been much of a prepper. I prepare a little, I read a little, and have even subscribed to a channel or two on the issue. What I slowly began to realize is that the guys who hit these topics hard are generally after subscribers or money in some form or fashion. They accomplish their goals by selling fear. There are too many end seekers and soothsayers. It seems as though they almost wish for something bad to happen. That's not me. When it comes to preparedness, I think it's our responsibility as individuals to ponder and act, even if in a minor fashion for our own sake. I will likely resemble those I despise, but I would like to share some information, maybe a few tips that some of you haven't thought about. Keep in mind, I'm no authority. Examples of why I feel I need to prepare. Whether it be a natural disaster, a personal mishap which affects me and only me, the threat of pandemic, a dangerous political climate which promises to steal our rights, an organized crapfest that evolves between citizens and government promoted by politics and media in order to stir the pot in any possible way, or even worse, escalating tensions between opposing nations while one government is continually distracted from within. I keep feeling the constant tug in my inner core telling me to prepare for whatever may be just beyond the horizon. Though we all share the same world, environments vary. I live in an area where the word rural is an understatement. It's near the heart of the logging industry. I don't think I'm stating anything you haven't already heard, but there are two forms of short-term preparedness, EDC and get-home bags. EDC stands for everyday carry, items one carries on his person, and get-home bags are a bit larger and contain more basic items. If something goes down and I'm away, I'm certain that my initial desire will be to get home. By the way, we tend to see a lot of crazy log haulers on the highways. Concerning EDC, I carry a multi-tool, a decent pocket knife, and a cheap knife for the dirty jobs. I should say that this is one of the best $4 knives I've ever owned. I always carry a lighter. Everyone should. Beyond this, I carry an emergency kit in my vehicle. The kids got this for me and it contains some good items. As I've said before, I carry an emergency medical kit also, yet it still needs improvement. Ointments, salves, and disinfectants are very important. I dare not say I carry such, but everyone should keep a few of these on hand. Of course, the contraption that operates them is needed as well. If you have the option, this is just common sense. I've never been stranded long term, but something as simple as a flooded highway and river bridge have caused an hour's drive and 2-hour detour just to get home. Possible scenarios are endless. Would you have what you needed if you experienced a problem while you're away from home? What if you're unable to even get home? Get-home bags don't have to be all that big as long as they can provide fire, food, warmth, hydration, and shelter. You'll need added items, but one should ask himself, for how long? Will you stay with your vehicle or will you be forced to leave it? No one can know the answer to this until it happens. When it comes to the larger bag that I carry in my vehicle, I try to include all the possible basics for the short term. As mentioned earlier, I live in a sparsely populated area, but everyone's settings are different. I suggest you make plans depending on where you spend most of your time daily for at least 2 locations to go to if you've access to your vehicle but can't get home. I'm not talking about bug-out locations. I'm speaking of familiar locations for an 8, 12, or 24-hour period until you're able to make your way home. If you're forced to leave your vehicle, you've got a couple of bags you can grab. You'll need the ability to build fire. I suggest a couple of avenues to do so. Food. Something canned or dry, as much as you can carry without overloading things. You'll need something to cook with. Warmth, a heavy coat. And shelter. I always carry a small tent, but at very least, locate some 55-gallon drum liners and paracord so that you can stay in the dry. Now let's talk hydration. It's important. Keep some bottled water in your vehicle and swap it out every few days. Personally, I avoid anything in plastics because of heat, etc. I keep water in a vacuum-sealed stainless water bottle for short term and swap it out weekly. But what if you're stranded away from home for more than 24 hours? Just as most would assume, you need a way to procure water. I keep on hand multiple avenues and I'll go over those. I have a life straw in my bag that I've never broken the seal on. Sawyer minis are also quite famous, and from what I understand, they do a great job at filtering water for drinking, but they don't remove heavy metals or pesticides, so one should be careful where and how he uses them. They make an S2 and I believe recently came out with an S3 which filters chemicals, heavy metals, and pesticides, but these are quite expensive when you break down how many gallons you get for the life of the unit. None of the following methods remove heavy metals or pesticides, but are what I use and keep on hand. A dropper bottle like this, filled with concentrated bleach, is what I carry in my bag. Adding 8 drops of 6% bleach to 1 gallon, or 6 drops of 8.25% bleach to a gallon of water will purify it for drinking. I also make a practice of boiling my water. Boiling is as safe as adding bleach. There are several other items I carry in my get-home bag, and I'll go over those in the next episode. But the real question is,